Well, I didn't know we'd get to see you today. How y'all doing?
Good. I jumped on last minute.
That's
better.
okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. The more the merrier here on
No,
Inside
I
the
want y'all to
Gamecocks
get to
show.
know Natalie, but I have something I want to talk about. So I'm going to let Natalie chat, but I have something I want to pipe in about.
That's awesome.
Do you want to go first?
That, let's let Natalie go first because she's got the most recent news, and this is the first time she's been on the show. Welcome to our show. Natalie's a University of South Carolina graduate from the Atlanta area. And works for Park Avenue and helps South Carolina's players get NIL deals. And you had a big one for yet another one for Nick Harbor. Kind of a good timing on that after he had had a season high in catches. Why don't you tell us about that deal and how it came about and what's it like working with Nick?
Well, Nick is great to work with, first off. He actually is very funny, and I didn't know that until we had our Curex shoot. He is hilarious and just has a lot of fun with it. He is new to brand deals and stuff like that, so he definitely just had a lot of fun with it. But kind of when we first found out Nick was going to come to the University of South Carolina, I started looking at some brands, I wanted to focus on finding a partnership that would focus on track and football because it is so special that he's doing both. And Curex was one of the brands there. Focused on soccer insoles and track insoles as well, but they're entering into a football line of insoles. So it worked out perfectly when I reached out back in August. I think it's been a little bit, but we finally got it announced. And yeah, so right now we're focused on football insoles, but once he starts his track season, we'll be releasing a video with him on the track insoles for Curex.
And he's his first football athlete, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Curex, yeah. They're mainly a track brand, but he's their first football athlete because they're trying to get into the insole space of cleats.
Wow, that's awesome.
Who are just do they have any other clients like name that we would know names?
Curex?
They have a couple other ones. I think Nick is probably the most well-known athlete that they have. But they have a couple others. Primarily soccer, I think.
And runners.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Soccer and runners. So, hey, it's good. Speak to that, with NIL in general, just business-wise, when you can get a unique brand like that that's looking to enter a market. I don't know if it's better or whether it's better to get a deal with an established brand, but, what can you say about maybe hitching your wagons to something that's emerging within a specific market, already established on your other market that obviously with being a track athlete, how awesome is that to come across from where you stand? And how does kind of being on the front end of something help a player with future endorsement deals and all that?
Yeah, I think it's great because, Nick is, starting out it's his first semester freshman year. So he's finding his brand, finding what he wants his audience to really know about him, like what brands he wants to work with. And I think it's very cool that Curex entering the football insole category. They're new to it, and Nick gets to help them kind of navigate that new field. And I think it's really cool for Nick, for being one of his first partnerships, for him to really help Curex in that segue into the football category while also helping them lead an already established category in their track insoles.
I think another good point too is, since he is a freshman and Curex is still kind of figuring this out, there's a lot of opportunity to renew this contract next year, make it bigger, do more with it. I know so far they've loved the content Natalie's come up with, and I think they're realizing this investment is worth it. So it's a really good opportunity year over year as they grow and as he grows on the team and at the school to continue renewing, upping the agreement, upping the deliverables, and upping the compensation, obviously.
That's awesome.
Do you what did Curex? You're representing the athlete, but you have to negotiate with the client as well, Curex, and so what do they tell you, like, hey, this is our goal, like this is what we're trying to do, this and this, like what it, I guess, we deal with clients all the time, so we know what their goals are. You know what I'm saying? And like they're trying to build brand and grow their business. So what do you learn from some of these clients, especially one like Curex, which is not a household name at this point in time? They're trying to get there. Like, what do you learn from these guys and gals when they're talking to you about trying to get these deals created?
Yeah, Curex was different because when I first reached out to them, they were very focused on Nick in the track field. And then later on, when they kind of found out that they were going to enter the football category for insoles, they wanted to do both. So it was interesting, like kind of changing the conversation into doing kind of like a dual partnership with track and football and incorporating that into the partnership. So I mean, I've never worked on a partnership where it incorporates two different sports. I mean, Nick is, a unique athlete. I have never worked with an athlete that does two different sports. And Curex as well, they've never worked with an athlete that is going to help them promote their football insoles as well as their track insoles. So it's kind of just navigating, a different field and category that neither I nor Curex has ever been involved in.
I think another good point too, sorry, I feel like I keep jumping in on top, but I'm thinking of things. Another good point too is like a reason why we are so successful is because we're very proactive. So like Natalie was saying, she takes the time and looks at millions of brands every day that are either getting involved in the sports space, already involved, or could have potential to be involved. And maybe they're not there yet, but if you push them or get them the right idea, they will be involved. So depending on who the brand is, there's some brands you'll talk to and they're like, this is how we do NIL. We're going to do this, this, and this, and this is what we want. And it's very cut and dry. And you're like, all right, great. We'll execute on that. And then there's brands like Curex who they've never really worked with a big athlete. So they lean on us a lot for like, your email, this is interesting. Like, let's get on a call. And then we take a lot of time before the call to make sure we come up with a really good idea that they can't say no to pretty much. So smaller brands like that, or brands that maybe necessarily haven't done NIL yet because they're scared of it. A lot of brands are scared. We make sure that it's super seamless and we handle a lot of the creative and structure of how the partnership will go. So it totally depends on the brand. But I think with Curex, what was really cool is that they'd never done it before. So they leaned on Natalie a lot to build out the structure and the content. And I think it all turned out great.
How important is that part of y'all's job now? Obviously, when people think sports marketing agents, I immediately think of Jerry Maguire and show me the money. That's not exactly what you guys do. But the creative end of it with social media, with now everybody can be a director, everybody can be a producer, everybody can be a graphic designer. How much do you rely on your creative instincts to get these deals done personally with the various athletes, along with getting into their brand and into their minds and taking that and applying a creative process to it?
A lot. It's funny you say anyone can do anything because I quite literally yesterday wrote an entire video script, like sound effects, video effects, everything, because like I was saying, a lot of the athletes in South Carolina, some of them have big national brands that we can get these huge companies to work with them. But a lot of the time we're working with a local company that doesn't know what they're doing. So I would say 80% of the time, the reason why we land those deals is because we come up with something creative that they can't say no to. Like I was just saying a minute ago, and doing a lot of the heavy lifting that they don't want to do or don't want to pay extra to do. And they're like, well, we don't want to pay for production. We'll be like, okay, we'll handle it. We'll figure it out. So I literally yesterday wrote an entire commercial script by myself and they loved it and it worked out. But you do have to get creative.
Yeah.
So you're almost like an ad agency in addition to being an agent agency and stuff like that. That's interesting because, that just kind of gives you another layer of value in the whole thing. Because I know with these deals, and JB and I know this on the media end, if you're going production, it costs money, and it's all part of it. Some people want to, not do that or whatever. So if you have all these tools in your toolboxes, and then the student athletes, as we know, they don't get charged anything because of the money that comes from Carolina Rise. That's just even better because that helps their brand, not only, I guess, in terms of getting deals and getting money, but their professional presentation, and kind of the way they operate, the way it looks and feels, I think would be very important, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, we will do anything we have to do to land the deal. If all they want to do is provide the money, we will do everything else. I mean, for Pit Viper, it was 85 degrees outside, and I was running around a park in downtown Columbia with all the guys trying to get them to like swing on the swing. It was the wildest thing. And I was taking the picture myself. So
Yeah.
we'll literally do anything and everything to land the deal if that's what we have to do.
I think one of the things where I have so much respect for y'all, your group of people, and you two young ladies individually here, is a lot of people don't understand marketing, and marketing is not easy. You have to be an educator because you have to, some people they overvalue themselves. Some people, a lot of them, undervalue themselves. I know y'all know that very well. And then you have to, even though there's successful businesses out there, they don't understand oftentimes how to market themselves and what works and what doesn't work, and most importantly, how to keep the creative from getting stale and all those type things. Y'all obviously you know all this stuff. And so I'm prepping all that to Chase. You and I, we collectively here on this show, I've asked you this question twice, and I love this. Is one of my favorite questions. I'm gonna ask Natalie. Natalie, what makes an athlete, in your opinion, what makes an athlete marketable?
That's a good question. I think a lot of things go into what makes an athlete marketable. I think obviously the main like most people would say their followers, how well known they are, but another aspect to it I think is how they brand themselves, how they put their image out there. Like for example, DK, he's very good at football. He's well known within the Gamecock community, but he doesn't have that big of a following, but he is doing charitable work. He's doing so much with his brand and his image that he's more well known than just his football career. And I think that's a huge aspect into it. And I think that's more marketable to most brands than just if you're a good athlete. I think how you carry yourself and how people think of you, like how fans, the people that follow you, what they think of you, goes far along, like a long ways within marketing, within being marketable.
It's a difficult question to answer because I think it's a different answer for everybody, right?
Yeah.
There's something. I mean, you could have the best player on the team, and there's something about him that you can't. That's not going to work to promote this product.
Yeah.
But this guy over here, for whatever reason, might be a better fit. It's a challenge. I'm just trying to support y'all because I think a lot of people think it's as easy as looking at the roster and going, "Oh, well, just give that guy a bunch of money and let him go." No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
Well, I think something on that note, not necessarily what makes them marketable, but this just made me think of it. That is very important. We try really hard to make sure that each athlete is branded and viewed in the way they want to be. So we wouldn't put them in a commercial where the whole script is something really funny if they're pretty shy and they don't want to be in something really funny, or make them the bad guy and then the next time we make them the best guy on the commercial. Like, you don't want to change their brand image every time. So we're always trying to navigate balancing that, keeping their brand image up, making sure we're working in the best interest of the client, which is the athlete. But then at the same time, we want to make sure that the brand wants to do this deal and has all of the elements they want in it as well. So a huge thing we tackle and juggle, like writing the script is just making me think of all of this, is making sure that what the athlete's saying sounds like him. And it's not going to be weird when it comes out of his mouth, but we're also getting all those taglines that the brand wants in the video and that it doesn't sound super cheesy. And there's a lot of just juggling everyone involved to make sure that everyone's happy. And that's our main job as the middleman, pretty much.
It's pretty, authenticity is pretty important. It sounds like it could be hard to balance, somebody that's, in the creative world with myself. I think sometimes authenticity is a lost art with some people. So doing that, and that's good. That gives our listeners and our audience the idea that, this is NIL, and that's a big buzzword these days. But the guts of it, it's a lot different with collectives, with Park Avenue, and what you guys. It really sounds like it's an all-encompassing, not only financial bonus for the players, but it helps build who they are off the field. And I think that's very, very. You can't put a price on that sometimes, to be honest. So, did you have something to say, Chase? You said you had.
Oh yeah. Really, the main reason I joined. So I don't know if you guys have seen this or if everyone has yet, but I wanted to bring it up. I've been working really hard. So DK came to me like 3 weeks ago and was like, "Hey, I really want to do a Thanksgiving food drive for people who need help getting a meal on Thanksgiving. Can you help me put this together?" And I was like, "Sure." So I reached out to Harvest Hope, who's the largest food bank in South Carolina, and we have learned that a food drive and food donations is a lot more complicated than you would think. But DK is so invested in this. He has a huge passion for feeding hungry people. Like he and I have sat on, I would say collectively, like 10 hours of calls, some of which at 11 p.m., because he's really trying to think through every aspect of it. All of that to say, the donation day is this upcoming Monday. So it'll be, let me see the address really quick. It's the Food Lion on Divine.
Okay.
5 to 7. It's all over his Instagram and his Twitter. So if people want to see the list of items, there's also a link that you can donate just $6.50, and that buys a homeless holiday meal kit for someone homeless that he's going to give out on the 20th. So there's a lot of different options, but Natalie and I will both be there on Monday at the food line, helping with all the donations. We're going to bring paper and markers so people can draw cards to put in the backpacks too. And then on the 20th, he's going to walk around Finley Park, the library, a bunch of different places and hand out all of this food before Thanksgiving.
I mean,
What a
carry
dude.
on. You know, I mean, dude, he's just the dude.
It's insane.
Give us the time. I know the Food Line on Divine. That's the former Gamecock Bilo. For those of you that may have not been by that in quite some time, right there at the 5 Points, the old 5 Points. What time is it? One more time.
Okay, so it's Monday. The donation day is Monday from 5 to 7.
Okay.
So stop by the food line. DK will be there. We'll be there.
Right, Divine. That's 5 Points beside the Chick-fil-A for those that don't understand where the roads are.
Yes, and the address is on the graphics that are on his Twitter and his Instagram. But yes, 5 to 7, people can come drop off food. GK will be there. We'll be there collecting and packing and everything. But then there's also online donations if you cannot come on Monday. And to buy a homeless holiday meal kit, that is 4 meals, I believe. It's only $6.50. So trying to raise a bunch of money there as well for people who can't donate food, because that money Harvest Hope is going to use to fill as many backpacks as we can. Right now, I think we're at almost 600 backpacks, and he's so excited.
Mm-hmm.
He
wants to hand out all 600 backpacks.
He does, and I'm not sure how long that's going to take us. We might start at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
But yes, he's very passionate about it. I mean, read his Twitter post. I'm looking at it right now. He's just really an upstanding student athlete. So
if folks can't get by there, if they're not in the area, how can they help?
On Monday? Yeah, there's an online donation link.
Okay.
So they can go to that link, which is in his Instagram bio. It's on his Twitter. We'll post it as well right after this.
Can you send us an email with all this information so we can continue to push it for you?
Yes.
Okay. Shoot it to me if you want to.
Yeah, send it to JC. And then I don't think I'm speaking out of turn here. As long as Mad Dog doesn't get upset down here, he can. Yeah, be careful with him, Mad Dog Phil. If you're interested, if any of you want to, you're more than welcome to check in during programming on Monday. Just as one quick last reminder, you can do it from your phone or whatever you want to do. We're on from 11 to 2. So if either of you or obviously if the Carrion wants to, he knows he's got an invitation here. But whomever, if we can be helpful, you just let us know. Just send us a text and we'll get you on.
Perfect.
No problem at all.
I'll send you that email right after we get off.
All right. Thank you so much.
Ladies, y'all do a wonderful job.
Keep killing it, man. Y'all are great.
Yeah. Chase, how's the wedding planning going?
I'm really busy with work, so I've kind of gotten behind on that, but we'll get around to it.
Mine's December. I got one December 30th out of state, and this whole month is driving me crazy.
December 30th, that's tough.
Yeah. We were trying to keep it small, so that's a good date to keep it small, right?
That's true.
So it was good.
That's
I never dreamed I'd be again in my 40s dealing with caterers and restaurants and hotel rooms. It's just a pain. My mother, it's like
it's a headache.
It's something else.
Behind.
Yeah.
We took all the money that was going towards anything that we thought would never, nobody would like. What do people talk about when they leave weddings? You know, and we were like, have you ever? I looked at my wife and said, have you ever left a wedding? And somebody said, boy, I tell you what, those napkins sure were nice. She's
Yeah.
like, no. I said, well, then get the monogram crap out of you. You know, let's put that towards the food and the band and the whole 9 yards.
Oh
And,
yeah. My only
uh,
stipulations were a really good band and an open bar. That's really all I think
bingo.
about.
Amen to that.
That's exactly that's it. That's all
So
people
those are
remember.
only
That's all
two
they care.
done. Those are booked.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's good.
are you getting married here? Or are you going to be in
No, I'm
Alabama?
getting married down in Florida where I grew up going to the beach in Seaside.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, we're Jupiter. We're getting
Congratulations.
married Jupiter.
Oh, Jupiter's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, it'll be great, especially in December. So.
Natalie, you're not planning a wedding, are you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good.
Yeah.
So, that's good. All right, girls, ladies, we appreciate it so much.
Wonderful to see y'all.
Wonderful to see you. And please, I mean, I work a lot, with Carolina Rise. I usually know what you guys are doing, but it really helps so much to tell the fan base and really they're the ones that pay for this because, like I said, it's their memberships that fund it, and I think everybody can listen to what you guys have to say and understand that they're part of something special. So that's it's always good to get you guys on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good day.
Send those links. See ya.
All right.